So, hey guys, welcome back. Today's video is going to be an extremely important video: how to balance working hard and having a social life. Understanding this is what can make or break your success. I'm going to be sharing the lens through my journey, and you're going to get to see the times where, I did have the balance and times where I didn't have the balance, and how everything kind of aligns. So you're going to get a close vision, a real look onto someone who have won a lot in the past and lost a lot in the past, and how I learned through all of that. And guys, I have been studying, the notable individuals, the greats for years and years, and I know the patterns of success and the patterns of failures, and I'm just going to be sharing all of that with you in this video. So I'm going to be taking you through 5 stages. So that is before I went to college, during college, after college, my current, the current business period that I'm going through, and also the future. In the first stage, before college, so that was around the time, when I was still in high school, I was about 16, 15 years old. During that time, just keeping it strictly academic at that period. I wouldn't say I was, the overachiever student during that period. I kind of just did average things and got average results in school. But I was also a very competitive gamer at the time. And I also played soccer on 2 different clubs. So that also kept me very busy. And I spent a lot of time doing that, and not just, the school, and giving, my full undivided attention to school. So again, when it comes to, success in life, after that period, the transition from, high school to college, I ended up not getting into the best colleges, right? So I was getting rejected, and that was my first, actual wake-up call. Hey, you're not really heading in the successful direction. Because previously in high school, I did not, spend sufficient time really getting, amazing results in school to move on successfully to college. And again, that was the first actual lesson that taught me that, hey, I really need to, sit and prioritize things in my life, understand what comes first, what comes second, or really just understanding your priorities and balancing your life accordingly. So my first year in college, I really wanted to turn things around. And in that period, success to me was, getting the best results in school, academically, being an overachiever. And in that first year, what I ended up doing is that I closed down all my social media. So I closed down my old Instagram account, my old Snapchat, my old Facebook, my old Twitter. So I had no social media whatsoever. And plus, I was very religious at that period, which helped my discipline a lot more. And so, and on top of that, I was only going out maybe once a month. So most weekends I was home working. And guess what? In that year, I achieved a 3.8 GPA, close to 4.0, almost having perfect grades. And the first key here to understand is that anyone with hard work, discipline, and sacrifice can really achieve anything, whether that's in school, whether that's in business, or this can apply to anything in life. I say that to say because a lot of people have false beliefs and makes excuses. So guys, I went from having a 2.5 GPA to 3.8, almost a 4.0, perfect grades in about 2 years. And if you're in that academic stage right now, just know that I've went through it, and I'm a living proof that you can be successful. And so that was pretty much my life for the first 2 to 3 years in college. The program that I went to in college was 5 years, and I ended up doing 1 extra year to finish other stuff, like my minor degree and other stuff. So I actually ended up going to college for 6 years. But so yeah, for the first 2 to 3 years, that's what I've done. And once I mastered myself and mastered, my life, cycle, or the way to balance things, and then in the last 2 to 3 years of college, that's when I kind of switched things up and many other things integrated into my life, because at that point, Only at that point, once I've done all the hard work and I understood what it takes, to achieve success, after that point, I then started to adding more things into my life and work it around and balance it with the current success that I had. But fasting forward to the last year of college, to be completely honest, I lost that balance almost completely. I pretty much let new experiences and desires get the best of me, and that led me to chasing things, and those things weren't necessarily going to make me successful in the future. However, it did give me, again, experiences that I needed to have, or experiences that that will open my eyes and help me understand myself and this world better. But again, that I let those things get too much of me and not focus on my success. So what that ended up resulting is that last year of college, when I graduated, I didn't have a job lined up when I graduated. So this gets me to the next stage, is that life after college. So I graduated and I didn't have a job lined up because, again, in that last year, I was doing all that stuff. So so for about a year or a year and a half after college, I decided to take some time off, and I went and traveled to a few different places. I was working on myself, trying to understand myself better, really trying to understand where I really wanted to take my life. And I guess it wasn't a complete failure, because I really needed to take that time to understand myself better and where I really wanted to take my life. But the drawback of that was that for 2 years, I could have used that time to build something and make something out of those 2 years that is more tangible. So like, for instance, starting a business and making money faster. So like, I ended up, during those almost 2 year time, I really pretty much like didn't really move my life, forward. So the key to get from this is that, if you're not careful and you lose your balance once, this could last a very long period, and you're just losing out on a lot of time. And so after that period, I ended up getting a job and working a full time. And so for 2 years now, I got into different businesses and tried to do different things. And to be honest, all of them failed because I wasn't, I was kind of just doing it, half-assed. Like, I wasn't putting my all into it. And so last year, pretty much all the things that I started, I ended up losing a lot of money. I ended up, not being successful in the things that I've done, and kind of just had to recalculate everything in order for me, and look back at my previous history of what made me successful, and repeat that, because that's really important. You really want to understand your patterns and what works, and continue to repeat that for your future. And so this year, when I finally, this final year, I finally understood what I really wanted to do and what will work for me. And so I went all in once again. I pretty much went to the 80-20 rule. So 80% of my time spent on hard work, and 20% is spent on other things such as social life. So, right now I'm in the beginning stages of my business. And, if you're in that stage, just know that the beginning is always the hardest. You're currently in the rocket launch state, and that's when it really takes the most energy to get off the ground. So, the beginning stages is always the hardest. It takes, the most amount of work, the most amount of discipline, and the most amount of sacrifice. And, that's the stage that I'm in right now. And guys, any successful person on this planet Earth, I bet you, when they first started their business, it wasn't glamorous. It wasn't cool. It wasn't fun. The beginning stages is extremely challenging. And you go through you go through a very lonely period in the beginning. And that's what I'm experiencing once again. And guys, I'm currently in a nightmare mode, not a monk mode, a nightmare mode, where for 3 months, guys, I haven't gone out, I haven't done anything except for focus on my, full-time job and my business. That's it, no in between. Because I really want to push my business forward and make it successful. And so, which brings me to the last stage. The future is that, once, I get to the goals that I set for myself this year with my business, then I'm gonna slowly start integrating, some of the social aspects life and some of the other things that I can do into my life once my priority is set, which is my business. Once that is, at the level that I want it to be, then I'm gonna start integrating things into my life and make it, more balanced. But, you really wanna focus on your priorities in life first, and, then slowly start adding things to it to make it more balanced. And guys, I can promise you this, any successful person who achieved, great wealth financially or anything that is notable in life, they didn't sit on their Snapchat daily and respond to snaps every hour. You won't find that person. And guys, I tried that myself 100 times in the past where, I had social media, and I was on my phone responding to snaps daily, and I wanted to achieve higher success, and it just never worked. Okay, so right now I have a safe that I lock my phone into before every work session, and that helps with my focus and my energy to be able to produce so that I can achieve the higher success that I'm aiming to. And so guys, that's pretty much an eagle view of my life and where I've seen some success and failure patterns, and what I did to change those things. And I hope that really give you a new perspective on how to approach balance when it comes to your life. I didn't go too much into depth in this video of like how to organize your day in, day out, and so many other things like how to manage your focus and all that. Like I haven't gone to those things in depth. I just pretty much gave you an overview. But if you want more in-depth details on balance, then comment below this video or DM me on Instagram and I'll get back to you, or make another video on it. And so with that being said, thank you again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.